how he's going to reshape the team, or perhaps because he's on a yellow card and they were worried that he might have picked up a black some time ago, and if he commits another foul like a black, it would be a red anyway. They'd be down to 14. Mayo have to come again. They're 2 behind. Moving forward, Paddy Durkin, bad ball again, given away sloppily to Davy Byrne.
Yes, the last couple of attacks, actually, they've unnecessarily turned the ball over.
Oh, and almost another turnover. Mayo went in with concern and bravery that time, but it's Diarmuid Connolly who emerges with it. Ball taken from him, a combination of Mayo players. Donny Vaughan got back. Loads of errors, loads of excitement as well, and you wouldn't know who's going to win this. It's advantage Dublin at the moment, but Mayo have other ideas, and Jason Doherty gets by 2 players. Here's a chance for Andy Moran. No, he's missed it. He's put it over the bar, but there was a goal there.
Oh, what an opportunity. That time, Jason Doherty going forward, kept his head, kept his composure, wonderful vision out of the side of his eyes, and Andy Moore sliced it over the bar. That was a great goal-scoring opportunity, Sportant.
We're going to see a change from Mayo very shortly, I think. Alan Dillon will be coming in to play in his 5th All-Ireland final. A link with the team. The team's beaten in the Naughties 04 and 06 by Kerry, like Andy Moran. This is Cian O'Sullivan back there. A 1-point game, 2-6 to 11 points, 12 points to 11. You wouldn't know who's going to win this. Well, you wouldn't know what's going to happen next either.
Very much so, but the levels of fitness from both sides is simply mesmerising.
This is what's going to happen. Paul Mannion got onto a loose break that wasn't cut out. Then the ball runs away from him, and down to pick it up is Diarmuid O'Connor. And in the end, the referee has blown his whistle and given Mayo a free out.
You are correct, the ball did run away from him that time.
There's a Dublin player down, and I think that is John Small. So they're down to 14 at the moment. John Small out of the action, receiving treatment. Here comes Kevin McLaughlin. Quite a match. You've so much written about it, so much talked about it. Nobody predicted it would be this kind of game. Aidan O'Shea carrying it on again, laying it off to Andy Moore, and missed the goal chance. Looking to get another score, swung around by Philly McMahon. Referee allows play to continue. Comes back here to Keith Higgins. Back in once more. This is Donny Vaughan. He's already scored. Fancies his chances again. He's put it wide.
Oh, yeah, I was watching the crowd behind the goals that time. There wasn't any Mayo flags flying. It just drifted away at the last moment. That was a good opportunity that Mayo had.
So there is going to be a change now as we watch this one more time here. That was the one that landed just to the right hand side of the post as we look at it there. Many of the Mayo fans thought it was gone over. Here's Alan Dillon back into the action, playing in his 62nd championship match, and he has come on in place of Seamie O'Shea. Alan Dillon from Ballintubber, who's got a goal and 105 points to his credit. 32 years of age. The amazing thing about Alan Dillon is the one goal he has scored in championship football, he scored it back in his first All-Ireland final against Kerry in 2004. That's the only goal he's ever scored in the championship.
Well, it's a credit to his durability and his longevity, the fact that he has continued to play football.
That's a great kick out, beautifully taken down by John Small, happily recovered. Here's Mannion. Missed last year when he was away. They missed him as well, but he's back and hoping to win an All-Ireland medal today on the park with the Dubs, who are hoping to do the double and a 4th All-Ireland win in 6 years and condemn Mayo to another disappointing afternoon at Croke Park. That's beautifully down as far as Paddy Andrews, out chasing him, Paddy Durkin. The battle of the Paddies here. Andrews trying to get it inside onto his left, kicking from a seemingly impossible angle. He's put it wide.
Great, wonderful defending that time from Paddy Durkin. Pushed him out to the side, got him onto his weaker foot. Durkin, for a lad who was actually a little bit of bother during the week with his leg, he's having a very fine game.
Here's Kevin McLaughlin transferring it to Colin Boyle. Between them, they had the misfortune to put the ball past their own goalkeeper during the first half. Paddy Durkin. No way going forward there. The route blocked by Ciarán Kilkenny. Back as far as Diarmuid O'Connor. Here, but it's won back by Alan Dillon once again. Carrying it on here, Tom Parsons going long to a 3-man inside forward line. Andy Moran goes chasing after it. Across after him to cover him and shadow him is Johnny Cooper. Aidan O'Shea uses his body well, keeps it away from Philly McMahon, then runs into Mick Fitzsimons. Here's Alan Dillon. Second touch since coming on. back to Andy Moore and try to thread it through towards Dillon. Ball runs loose, finally picked up here, and that's Mick Fitzsimons getting that ball away with the fisted pass. Davy Byrne.
What composed defending. That's fabulous defending from Dublin, keeping very, very calm all the time.
Two players on the ground at the other end. Meanwhile, the challenges are hard and tough. John Small, the last man to pick himself up. The referee goes across here to deal with this. Gets a little tetchy here with Paul Flynn and Lee Keegan getting involved. This is Flynn. That was the shoulder there coming across of Colin Boyle.
Yeah, it's a yellow card territory. The referee's just stalling things, calling Colin Boyle out to him, telling him to calm down. I think, okay, it was a pretty hard tackle, but I don't think there was any malice in it.
I think he's very puzzled by the fact that he went in with his shoulder, and the referee ends up giving him a card for that.
Well, certainly Colin Boyle is one of those guys who carries more heart than a tribe of Apache Indians. Every game he plays, he gets stuck in. Great bit of stuff.
Well, the Apache Indians are looking on as he has got himself a yellow. And his team 1 point behind still. 12 minutes to go in the final. There's still some unfinished business there between them. Chris Barrett's going to come in a little while, and Colin Boyle is going to be withdrawn.
Yeah, I think that's precautionary. Just afraid that Colin might pick up a second yellow and Mayo a man down. But the movement, there's very little movement, it must be said, from Dublin up front at the moment.
Here's Kilkenny. John Small racing forward here. Back once again towards Ciarán Kilkenny. Brian Fenton, who's been a very influential figure in the middle of the park, had long spells dominating things, setting up chances. An exciting young player. Another exciting young player, Paul Mannion. In here, Andrews kicking, and that one. In fact, it's Bernard Brogan eventually, and Bernard Brogan has just kicked Dublin's 10th wide of the match. It's very untypical Dublin.
Typical, but Mayo have them frustrated, they have them spooked, they're putting great pressure on Dublin, and they're finding it very difficult to get the room that they normally have got all year.
Just look at the Dublin score, 2 goals and 6 points. You wouldn't have imagined a score as impoverished looking as that after nearly an hour of play, and the 2 goals contributed by Mayo defenders. Mayo come once more. Keith Higgins, Tom Parsons on his shoulder, keeping it away from Cian O'Sullivan. Hasn't been mopping up that loose ball the way he's been doing in so many matches, in championship matches up to now. Higgins, again a very poor final effort. Still a 1 point game.
And what's very frustrating from a Mayo point of view is that Cillian O'Connor and Aidan O'Shea are in there waiting for the delivery, but the delivery is substandard in the last couple of occasions.
Dublin are going to energise their forward line, I think, in a few minutes' time, but we'll wait until they do so. Brian Fenton, challenged there by Cillian O'Connor, holds on to it, has a look up. Once again, it's Kilkenny moving onward. Nifty footwork to Bernard Brogan, able to take a return. Dublin coming looking for a goal which one of their forwards might score this time. Ball touched on the ground as Ciarán Kilkenny fell down. Free kick taken by Brendan Harrison. We've only got 10 minutes to go here. Who's going to win it?
Well,
Diarmuid O'Connor.
Well, it's one of these games that's magnetising attention right through, and every single player is playing out of his skin.
It's 1 against 2, and really they should have got that one away. And there's a challenge there on the Donny Vaughan. The referee says a fair challenge, and the referee has tried to let it go whenever he can. This time he has whistled, and there is going to be a change now, and Owen O'Gara is going to come on, and the player who's going to be making way will be Bernard Brogan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised actually that Owen O'Gara's been brought in. Bernard Brogan, they depend on him inside to make those runs. They haven't been happening.
Good Lord, look at this, look at this. My goodness me, testing the jersey, it's ridiculous stuff. Lee Keegan and Diarmuid Connolly.
Yeah, I think the referee's attention has been called to that by his umpires. So once more, the referee has some bookkeeping work to do.
Well, sorting out, and he's gone straight down to his 2 umpires down at the Hill 16 end. Pat Kelly and DJ O'Sullivan, and there'll be a fresh jersey required for Diarmuid Connolly. They really are testing the quality of the old jerseys they're wearing. New nifty style this year. And finally, at the end of all that, the referee comes across. Lee Keegan at the receiving end, and also in close proximity is one Diarmuid Connolly.
I think both of them will get yellow cards in this case. Yes, that's what happens. And on the word of the umpire.
So a yellow card each. It just delays and stalls what we hope will be a flowing last 8 minutes of this game. Maybe to redeem it in some respects, because there were so many missed opportunities, so many mistakes, so many errors. At the same time, a lot of excitement. Bernard Brogan making his way off. On comes Owen O'Gara, who's come back from a cruciate leg injury some time ago to play a full part. Scored a point right at the end against Kerry, of course. And Dublin fans all around Croke Park hope he can repeat the party piece. Here's Johnny Cooper.
Just watching the press that Mayo are applying at the moment. The Dublin are finding it so difficult with the ball out of the defence.
But they're still in front. And at the end of the day, if they can get their hands on the cup, that was all that mattered to them. Davy Byrne. In support, Brian Fenton. He's been covering an immense amount of ground. Philly McMahon kicking it down here. Fumbled by Connolly. Yellow card just a moment ago. There's the man who was yellow card with him, Lee Keegan. Back to Philly McMahon it comes again. Oh, it's a bad ball by McMahon. In nipped Kevin McLaughlin. So many mistakes. Who's going to benefit from the errors in the end, in an error-strewn All-Ireland final? Back out to Dillon. Alan Dillon kicking, splitting the post. Great point. And the teams are level now for the third time.
What a score from Dillon. Wise old head, knew exactly what to do, measured the shot, caressed it over the bar, but indecision, I think, on the part of David Byrne that time presented the opportunity.
It's 11 minutes now since Dublin scored. Paul Mannion setting this one up. Carried on here by Paul Flynn. Back to Ciarán Kilkenny. You feel now at this late stage in the game, with the teams very weary, that every is going to have to yield something if you're going to get your hands on the cup today.
Mayo look to be the team that has the greater energy, the greater urgency at the moment. Just if they could get that little bit, just more composure in close to goals, I think they could go on and win this.
That's Chris Barrett, first touch for him back there. McLaughlin again. Aidan O'Shea touching it out here as far as Downey Vaughan. Coming forward with his Diarmuid O'Connor, looking to try and get a score that will put Mayo in front at a crucial late stage in the game. Dublin have still so many dangerous forwards, we know that.
There's a lot with a great engine, Paddy Durkin, but Mayo have been so feisty throughout the second half.
O'Connor once again, back here as far as Keith Higgins, had been captain, loses the ball to Brian Fenton. What a match he has played. Once again it is Michael Fitzsimons from Coola carrying it on, stopped in his tracks by Paddy Durkin. Dean Rock getting it back, Dublin holding. They will use time, and they will try and create space, and they will try and get the perfect scoring opportunity. And they have classy forwards up there who can do a lot of damage, even this late in the game when they must be tired. John Small dodging past Aidan O'Shea. Small kicking, and Dublin lead again.
Oh, that was too easy that time. Small just drifted into a good angle, took the ball on his right foot. Great composure from Dublin. Lovely lateral move and just a little shimmy, showing the ball to Aidan O'Shea. O'Shea couldn't adjust his feet. Fine score that time from Small.
That's just his second ever championship score. And Alan Dillon, I think, is injured. He's gone off and he's been replaced by Barry Moran.
Yeah, well, Barry Moran, that'll be the twin tower approach now, I'd imagine. High ball into Barry Moran. He can be very good on it, even though normally he wouldn't like to play in the full forward line, more of a midfielder. There's another change as well for Dublin. Darren Daly has come on in place of Davy Byrne. And we're also going to see number 19 here, who is Stephen Cohen, of course, who led Mayo to the Under-21 Championship already this year, getting an opportunity now to come on in the All-Ireland final. Very promising young player. And the player going off will be Diarmuid O'Connor. Yeah, Diarmuid O'Connor hasn't been at his best maybe today. Another one of the lads who's been carrying an injury, been replaced by his Under-21 captain, actually, Stephen Cohen. O'Connor, one thing you have to say about O'Connor, he will give everything. But
3 minutes to go. O'Gara has won it from the kick out here for Dublin. And in the end, the referee's going to bring the ball back because there wasn't an immediate advantage coming their way, even though Dean Rock had the ball in his hands. Yeah, referee giving them a free kick instead, so Dean Rock will hope to try and put this one over the bar and put 2 points between the teams with just under 3 minutes of the 70 to go.
A typical Dublin end of game scenario at the moment. They've been so impressive coming down the stretch late in games, and not for the first time. The likes of O'Gara, maybe it is, who actually got that ball and earned the free.
Bench that will win the All-Ireland for them if they are to do so. Dean Rock coming and putting it brilliantly over. He's taken the pressure on his young shoulders. He may have missed a couple earlier on, but he's nailed that one at a vital time. And now Stephen Rochford and Mayo must be wondering if there's anything they can do about it, as Connolly kicks, and Connolly scores. He's always capable of something special, an immense talent.
Well, what a score by Connolly again, pressurising the kick out, and there's another kick out pressurised, and it's been critical from a Mayo point of view, actually, that score.
Mayo now need to get a goal. 2 minutes to go. Tom Parsons carries it on. Dublin by 3 points. Parsons kicking diagonally across. Mayo hoping for a favourable bounce, and Andy Moran's able to get to it. Playing it inside here, Cillian O'Connor trying to step inside, and that one has gone, well, it's not gone nowhere because it's going to be called back, because it's got to be a free in. Referee giving the free kick to Mayo so they can get one back here with time running out. However, an opportunity to put this over the bar. This is what was happening here. Andy Moran chasing after it, Mick Fitzsimon's after him.
Yeah, foul there, and referee Connorling didn't give the advantage, so Cillian O'Connor has put it over there.
6 points for Cillian O'Connor, the 24-year-old UUJ student. But is he to get his hands on Sam Maguire? Time is running out. We're inside the last minute, as you can see, plus whatever amount of time the referee is prepared to add on, and that has varied so much in championship matches this summer. We understand there could be as many as 7 minutes of added time, and that is the most I can remember in an All-Ireland final, I have to say.
That's incredible if that comes. But just going back to Connolly's point a couple of minutes ago, he's been very quiet, but that quietness doesn't obscure his quality when he gets an opportunity like he did.
Mayo behind by 2. Dublin trying to hold on now, and holding onto the football brilliantly was Johnny Cooper. Out as far as Cian O'Sullivan, back out as far as Diarmuid O'Connell, who got that fabulous. They'll just try to shave a few seconds off the clock now, as we're almost into the red at the end of 70 minutes, and then we'll have it confirmed. There are indeed 7 minutes to be played. Suddenly that gives renewed heart and hope to the men in the green and the red. Aidan O'Shea, 2 behind, held up, free kick, quickly taken. Nicely on, Donald Vaughan trying to go by Diarmuid Connolly, kicking it with his right foot and kicking it over the bar. The lead's down to 1. What a final. 2 points for Donny Vaughan.
What a point by Vaughan. One of these players who will run all day, nominally at sighted at fullback, but he's got forward so often today, so effective, and that is a display of heart and quality right through the game, epitomised by that score from Vaughan.
Evan Regan's on, and he's on in place of Andy Moran. So now, will we get a winner today? You just wonder.
Well, there's been such a history of draws between the two teams over the years. I think 1955, 1985, a couple of years back.
Last year,
yeah.
Andy Moran's off. Evan Regan is the fresh face on there. And play will continue now with a kick out to Dublin, and it'll be Stephen Cluxton who will kick it. He's going to kick it long for once.
He's been pressurised very, very effectively all through the game, and Mayo is one.
The kickouts by either goalkeeper today has been contested between the 8s and the 9s, as used to be the case. But now it's cat and mouse, and there are 5.5 minutes left of stoppage time. And it's still Dublin leading by 1.
Yeah, Aidan O'Shea that time claiming that he just put legitimate pressure on the ball carrier. Clever play by Johnny Cooper.
Cooper stayed down.
Oh, he's staying down. Eat into the clock as much as possible.
Well, I think the referee will probably add time on for this. You could be certain. Ciarán Kilkenny back out here as far as Ciarán O'Sullivan. Trading passes with Johnny Cooper. My goodness, that's a miraculous recovery. Whatever he's on, I must get on myself. Ciarán O'Sullivan back again to Brian Fenton. Free kick to Dublin.
But you notice, Gerard, there aren't any runs being made by the Dublin players at the moment. They're out on their feet. They're finding it very difficult to get support runners. Nobody up front making runs. Connolly is quiet enough just over the last couple of moments, being marked right so well by Vaughan.
Kicked ahead. Good positioning this time. Darren Daly. Daly dragged down, and that again is black card territory. Cillian O'Connor this time. The referee seemed to just note it. Maybe he decided it wasn't intentional. How to define that word intentional is the major problem for all of us.
Well, that's the thing. That's what gives the black card a bad name. It was just...
Referee's call. Diarmuid Connolly out here as far as Johnny Cooper. They could use another score, Dublin. Will Connolly be the one with that dummy solo to try and set something up here late in the match? Once again, it's Johnny Cooper. Did a great job in the semi-final as well against Kerry. Ciarán Kilkenny. Oh, he's suddenly in the clear. There's a point for the taking if he puts it over the bar, and maybe he gives it to Dean Rocker, perhaps on O'Gara. They're taking a lot of time over it, and finally they make a complete hames of it. And it's still a 1-point game, 2-9 to 14 points. They had 3 players that time who could have put it over the bar, and really Ciarán Kilkenny was
pass from one to the other that time. Typifies in some respects the lack of confidence at times in the Dublin attack today, but you would have thought that the experienced player would have taken control of that and actually taken the score.
Flynn off, Bastic on. Dublin tried to pen Mayo back there. Keith Higgins, they're still a point behind. We have just under 3 minutes of the added time to go. Mayo need to bring the ball down into Dublin territory, and they can't do so because Tom Parsons was fouled, however, by Diarmuid Connolly, and there's a let-off for Mayo. They can get a free instead into the hands of Aidan O'Shea. It's now or never. Lee Keegan back to O'Shea again, making a run for it. High up into the clouds. Oh dear, it's out towards the corner flag. That's a shocking kick at this late stage in the game. Absolutely shocking.
It's most untypical of Aidan O'Shea, just at a time when you need composure, just at a time when you need the leadership. Unfortunate from a Mayo point of view, he just gives that ball aimlessly. And
only 2 minutes left. Stephen Rochford knows all about it. So too does Jim Galvin. Our Dublin, without playing all that well, about to win the Sam Maguire for 2016. Time against Mayo. The ball's in Dublin hands. They've had a couple of chances to get another score. Mick Fitzsimons now back here as far as Paul Mannion. Holding on, wasting some time. 7 minutes of added time. Dublin by 1. They come once more. Kilkenny looking for a free kick. Referee says play on. He's got 2 players to his left. Looked at them. Finally, somehow it reaches Paddy Andrews. His 2 points in the first half were so important. His first, after 33 minutes, was Dublin's first score to come from open play. And that kind of day for them.
Very much so. And that indisputable little bit of extra experience that Dublin had, that comes with maybe winning on Ireland, is standing to them at the moment. And notice Connolly here taking his time with this, eating into the clock as much as possible. They will try, I think, and put this ball dead or play it down into the corner.
Are Mayo to lose and all? They will far too often. Diarmuid Connolly kicking it out and wide.
Mayo need to get
maybe
this.
One chance left. Maybe there is.
One chance left. This is now or never.
Well, it's been now or never for Mayo for quite some time. Some would say for 65 years. They get the ball up as far as Stephen Cohen. Runs onto Tom Parsons. Into Cillian O'Connor. Aidan O'Shea, back to O'Connor. Dublin have got to be disciplined now, not give away a free kick. O'Connor's going for it. He's kicked it over the bar. They're level. The All-Ireland final looks set for level for the fourth time.
What a score from O'Connor. Again, the two main players you want to get on the ball, Aidan O'Shea and Cillian O'Connor, combined that time. O'Connor's calmness under pressure at a moment when you needed him most. That is a fantastic score.
They've got a player down. They're claiming there was a foul in there. It's getting heated. We're expecting a fair old battle this afternoon, but I didn't mean with fisticuffs like this.
No, it's just ending a little bit unsavoury at the moment. It has been a very fair game. There's been a lot of aggressive tackling, all right, but just watch O'Connor's composure. Fantastic finisher. Wonderful score.
He is a superb finisher. Mayo's most recognised scoring outlet has done it for them here. There's still a few seconds left. We haven't heard a final whistle. Now there's deep concern about one of the Mayo players down there, and it does look like he's going to have to be helped off the field. But at the end of all of this, if it is to be a replay, I have to say I think it's a fair result. Not sure anybody deserved to lose this match, or maybe even win this match this afternoon.
Yeah, but you just look at that last attack again, Ger. The big players react well.
That's Evan Regan.
And rise to the occasion. Evan Regan that time took a very hard shot, just not long in the game.
Evan Regan, who got a very bad injury. I remember seeing him play against Kerry, a shoulder injury, put him out for most of a season, I think, about 2 years ago. Great to see him back this year. And Conor Loftus is coming on in place of Evan Regan. Kenny just checking with him how many more minutes is he going to add on. We're now into the 9th minute, as you can see, and the referee is still allowing play to continue. Stephen Cloxton back to Ciarán Kilkenny. It's all over. The All-Ireland final for 2016 has finished level here. A last-second kick by Cillian O'Connor, one of 7 points he scored this afternoon, means that Stephen Rochford's team will get a second opportunity to try and beat Jim Gavin's. They'll have to do it all again